Welcome back. Chelsea 0, City 3 reaction. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that. We'll get that over and done with. Where do we start? Where do we begin with that? Embarrassing. I guess we'll start off with the first half. I thought actually in the first half, even though it's irrelevant now, we played well. I thought we actually looked lively in the first half. I think we did attack well, we did defend well. Obviously that's irrelevant, I get it. So I'll move on to the second half straight away. No, we won't stay with the first half long because we shouldn't. That second half, wow. That's all I got to say is wow. I didn't see anything in that second half, anything at all that I saw as a positive. There was no positives from that game at all. If you look at the last 6 games that we've played, we've only got 1 out of 6, which obviously Port Vale, which doesn't really count as a win really. When you look at it, you know, relegation opposition, we should be beating them anyway. I'd take away that Port Vale game, which I'm not gonna lie, I got a bit confident from. I shouldn't have. I really shouldn't have. I don't know what Rosenior said at half time. I don't know what he said at half time to them players to get them motivated. It didn't seem like they were motivated at all. The 3 goals that we conceded are all from mistakes. All from mistakes. The first one, Andre Santos not marking, who, by the way, had a terrible performance. Our midfield had a terrible performance, and we'll get onto that. But leaving Nico O'Reilly, who we know is a dangerous player, 3 in the box. The first goal, free header. We knew that was going in. The minute that ball came in, which was a brilliant ball in, but still, Andre Santos should have marked his man. Then the second goal, where Cherki just is on the edge of the box, just teasing it, and then it gets to Gehi, who Gusto really should have seen that coming. I still don't know, standing here now, looking back at that goal, how Gusto doesn't see that coming. Then the third goal, where Caicedo just shits himself, and, you know, we all know that Caicedo's a brilliant player. We all know he is, but since Arsenal, since that red card against Arsenal, he's been a different player. And in a bad way, because he actually did do a couple of nice things before that, where you could see, okay, Caicedo's having actually a good game. Didn't get a yellow card. But oh my God, I still sit here and just think, what are you doing? I think Rosenior not letting Enzo play in this game was poor from him. Again, another decision which was confusing. You know, let him out for the Port Vale game, fair enough. You know, it's still a statement in a way. FA Cup quarter final, you're not letting him stay. But to not let him play against Manchester City when we're fighting Champions League football, regardless of what he said, is confusing to me. And I think Rosenior, he's not made for the job. I am Rosenior out. I think he's not made for the job. I've been Rosenior out ever since he came. I think a lot of Chelsea fans are. Just a shocking performance. Nothing in that. And you know, we got United next. Then we got Brighton. Then we got Leeds. You know, it doesn't get easier. And that's what I mean. Like, I get it's City, but we didn't put it on enough, in my opinion. We kind of just it's just that second half, man. That second half really does annoy me. Really does annoy me. Because I don't get what we were trying to do in that second half. We didn't do anything, actually. Didn't do anything, you know? And it's just surprising. It's like he waited 90 minutes to bring on a Shimpong. And I would have made that substitution at half time because you knew that what was going to happen after Doku had a couple of moves against Gusto. But it's just shocking. It's the same old, man. It's the same old with this team. Newcastle, Everton, not finishing our chances when we had them. In that first half, we should have been 1-0 up at least. But again, it comes down. We're 20th in the table for big chances misses this season. And I think, we really do need to look at our attack. And then the midfield, it's dreadful. Andre Santos, again, another shocking performance from him. Again, another shocking performance from Gusto. Again, another shocking performance from Caicedo. Again, another shocking performance from Esteval, losing the ball constantly in that first half. Again, Palmer losing the ball constantly in the first half. It's weird what we're seeing, because these are players that we know are good. We know they are. So that's when it becomes confusing, and I don't know where we go from here. Man United next. Doesn't get easier. And then we have Leeds, and then we have Brighton away, which is another difficult game. This is why beating City today would have been huge, or at least getting a point, which we should have really got. What do you say to it, really? I think Bluco really need to look at themselves after the signings that we made in the summer. The only good one that you can say is Joao Pedro, who, had a couple of decent chances to. He didn't really get involved though. The only half chance that he had is when he kind of got the ball, but his touch was awful, where he tried to play it forward to himself. When Donnarumma kind of got confused whether to come out or not. That was the only big chance that we really had in the whole game. But Neto kind of fell off in the second half, even though that was a bit confusing as well. It's just, where do we go from here? And a lot of Chelsea fans would have been, happy with that because of Arsenal. I didn't care about Arsenal today. Didn't care at all about Arsenal today. I wanted us to win, because that was a massive result for us if, in the circumstances of where we are in the league. Because now, do we make it in the Europa League? Do we make it in the Conference League? Do we want that again? Do we want to play in the Conference League again? That's what I'm seeing in the players, And that's, Rosenior has to get sacked, regardless at the end of the season. We're not going to make Champions League football now. That's gone. So you can bury that, because Villa today would have been happy. They dropped points. Man United are playing Leeds tomorrow. We could have put pressure on Man United after playing them next week. That's what I don't get as well. Man United played Monday night against a big game against Leeds. Leeds are a decent side, regardless of where they are in the league. Leeds in big games are decent. We could have really put it on them today. And the most annoying thing is, because we did play well, we scored, we put the ball in the net. Fair enough, it was offside, but why didn't we build from that? We didn't build from that. There was no momentum from that chance. And, we could have put real pressure on Man United and Aston Villa, but now we've given them cruise, to be honest. If Man United win tomorrow, they're pretty much confirmed that they'll be playing Champions League football next year. And from the start of the season, you wouldn't expect that, but it just shows their summer window was better. They signed Mbeumo, they signed Cunha, they signed Premier League proven players that they knew that they would do it at that level because of what they've done for their previous clubs. We signed Liam Delap for 30 million. We signed Garnacho. We signed Hato. These are not Premier League proven players, and people can say Liam Delap. In one season for Ipswich, and we thought, that's the man. No chance. So, once again, another season where, it's not great. United next, probably lose that. But yeah, embarrassing. I just don't know what else to say. I think I've said my point. Ratinha out. Get him out of my football club. I don't want him anywhere near the football club next season. I'll sack him tonight. And there's Chelsea fans sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, but at least we made, good luck to City, good luck to City." I don't give a fuck about City. Why does everyone care about the league, the title? It's not our problem. We want to fight Champions League. We should be playing the Champions League every year. Do we want to be playing the Europa League? Do we want to play playing the Conference League? Because that's what it feels like. But yeah, anyway, I think I've said my point. Rafinha out, Blue come out, as always. On to the next. Thank you guys for watching.